Hello everyone, so I've got another weight loss diary video today. The topic that I wanted to talk about today, I feel like a lot of people hopefully will find it really helpful, and I think it's something that, especially at this time of year, is really important. So I will go through all like my weight and the pictures first, and then I will talk to you. As always, I like to give my start weight, my weight last week, and then my current weight. On the 4th of September, I was 13 stone, 4 pounds and 4 ounces. And then on the 26th of November, I was 11 stone, 9 pounds and 4 ounces. And then my latest weigh-in day on the 3rd of December, I was 11 stone, 7 pounds and 8 ounces. So I lost just a little over 1.5 pounds, which I was really happy with. It had just been my time of the month, like sort of during that week, so I was just kind of coming out of that, so I think that can have an effect on my body, so I am really happy with that. And just the fact that I'm pretty much at 11.5 stone now, so I've got just a little over 2 stone until I get to my goal weight. Obviously the closer I get to my goal weight, the more I might tweak it, but at the moment I'm still kind of thinking that that's going to be my goal weight. I'll quickly show you the pictures now. This is the front picture, which, you know, I feel like I do say the same thing with every single time I show these pictures. But it is really nice to be able to see them, to be able to reference them, and also just to kind of be able to show you what losing this amount of weight can look like. And I think it's, you know, sometimes you might look at yourself and think, oh, I need to lose like so much weight, but really, you know, even a small amount of weight can make a huge difference in the way you look. And, you know, I recently actually bought some clothes a size down, well, even a couple of sizes down than what I would normally buy, and I loved the way they fit. They're not something that I would ever wear usually, and it just felt really nice to feel confident and feel comfortable in them. So that's the front picture. Then the side picture, which, you know, I'm still really happy with, and then this is the back picture, which, as always, you know, I'm obviously still really happy with. I can't wait to be able to see some definition in my back, although I think that's definitely something that will take quite a long time, because there is still obviously, you know, fat on my back, which I can feel going, I can feel a difference, but when I start, you know, working out a little bit more intensely, I just want to look more kind of defined in that area. So there are all the pictures. It's December, and obviously we are getting very close to Christmas, and even I think, I don't know if it's maybe just because I notice it more or just because it's the way things are now, but I feel like people get so excited and so ready for Christmas so early on, whereas, you know, years ago it seemed to be that people wouldn't kind of start getting ready until maybe a couple of weeks before, whereas now I feel like as soon as kind of Halloween's over, you know, especially in the UK, because we don't celebrate Thanksgiving, it kind of dives straight into Christmas, whereas I think in the States, obviously, Thanksgiving is a huge celebration that people, like, you know, get ready for and things like that, and then for them, as soon as Thanksgiving's over, then it kind of rolls over into Christmas, which obviously is probably one of the worst times of year. For me, it's the worst time before Easter when it comes to eating, you know, food that is high in sugar and high in carbs and just generally bad for you. Obviously, it's colder as well, so you tend to have a lot more hot drinks like hot chocolates and, you know, flavoured coffees and things like that. So I kind of wanted to go over how I'm going to deal with all that, and also why I think you shouldn't wait until after Christmas. If it's something that you want to do, I don't think you should wait until after Christmas. I don't think you should wait till the new year to start it, and, you know, there's reasons behind it. So basically, obviously I've been doing this for a few months now. I'm very set in my ways. I feel like I have a lot of willpower to control myself and to portion control and everything like that, and it's taken, you know, it has taken me a while to get used to it, but I do feel a lot better for it. For me, in some ways, it's going to be easier than for someone who maybe is just going to be starting it like now. Once you're in the right mindset, and once you kind of, you know, say to yourself a few things, it does make it a lot easier to stick to it during this time of year. The first thing that I think is important to remember, and, you know, it's something that I always like to remind myself, even though I know and I've known this for years, you will put on weight so much quicker and so much easier than you will lose weight. A week of bad eating can be 0.5 stone plus weight gain. A week of good eating might only be 0.5 pound to 3 pound loss. So obviously, if you were to kind of relax over the Christmas time, which that can be anywhere between 2 and 3 weeks, you could end up putting on 1.5 stone. That could then take a month and a half, maybe 2 months to lose. And then on top of that, if you were someone who was unhappy with your weight, you would then have to continue on to lose, you know, maybe another stone, maybe another 2 stone, however much you want to lose. So I always like to remind myself that, because then it kind of keeps me thinking, just because it's Christmas time, that doesn't mean that, you know, I personally don't have an advent calendar, even though I know it's only, you know, it would only be a little bit of chocolate per day. That's still something that I don't want to get into the habit of doing. I haven't bought myself any Christmas treats, and I have also got a sort of plan in motion as to how I'm going to still be able to stick to the diet I'm doing, still be able to do the 1 carb night, but still enjoy myself Christmas Day. If you have that kind of mindset of, you know, a week of bad eating could mean a huge gain, even a week of okay eating can be, you know, no change at all, which is far better than a week of bad eating. To me, food now isn't something that I feel like I have this huge attachment with. I'm not going to be upset just because I haven't, you know, I've missed out on some like takeaways or some chocolate or some crisps or some like Christmas cake and things like that. So it's not something which has to be a bad thing. You can still enjoy certain foods just by portion controlling. The second thing I would do is get a plan in place. So like what I do, I go to the gym 5 times a week. That's not something that I really want to change during Christmas time. So I would normally have the day off on a Saturday, and I'd have my carb night on a Saturday, and then I'll go back to the gym on the Sunday. Obviously Christmas this year is on a Sunday and Christmas Eve is on a Saturday, so that's not really possible for me to do that. To make it easier for myself and to make it nicer for myself, I'm just literally going to swap them around. I will go to the gym Christmas Eve. That might be kind of drastic to some people, but to me, that's something that I want to do, and I will have my carb night and my day off the gym on Christmas Day and then get back into it Boxing Day. If I was to, you know, take a break Christmas Eve, Christmas Day and Boxing Day, I could end up, even just 3 days I could probably easily put on 1/2 stone. But because I've already got that plan set in motion, I know I'll stick to it, and I know that I'm still going to be perfectly happy about it. I will be able to enjoy my Christmas dinner. I'll be able to enjoy a couple of treats Christmas Day, and I will still stick to it the way I normally do. I am going to do my video next week. I'm going to kind of explain how I do my carb days, because it's not really something I've gone in depth about. So when I do that, I will explain exactly what I'm going to do Christmas Day as well, like what kind of foods I will eat, when I'll eat, and everything like that. So, you know, and I've mentioned before, as long as you have no less than 5 days between each carb night, then you are still sticking to a ketogenic diet, if that's something you want to do. Whereas if you did a diet where you just had a general cheat day, but you normally have it on a Saturday. I have also mentioned as well that you don't have to be 100% strict on the percent of carbs with each individual food you eat. You just need to make sure that the amount of grams you have of carbs, of fat, of protein a day is the right amount. So I've said this before, it might just be a case of weighing out some crisps, weighing out a little piece of chocolate, so then you don't feel like you're completely missing out. I would rather have a little bit of chocolate and, you know, maybe not lose any weight for that day, or not lose as much weight for that week, than to eat a whole bar of chocolate and put on 1/2 pound. And because I keep telling myself that, because I keep reminding myself that, I do feel like when it comes to Christmas, I will have a lot more control. I also am going to kind of, you know, tell everyone that I'm going to be with, this is exactly what I'm doing, so obviously then they will know not to, you know, because I do feel like people will offer you food as well, which sometimes can be hard if someone's sitting there offering you like a nice piece of cake, a nice chocolate, offering to make you a drink. Then as long as they know and as long as they're supportive, I'm very lucky in the fact that, especially my parents, they are massively supportive in what I'm doing. So I know that you know, they will also help keep an eye on me. They will also, you know, they know the kind of foods that I can and can't eat, that I, you know, will and won't eat. So I can trust that they will help me stay in control. And also just kind of being with people that you know are supportive. If they need to give you that gentle reminder of, like, maybe, like, why don't you have this instead of that? Like, just to kind of, I don't think that it's something that, especially if you've been doing it for ages, or if it's something that you really want to do and it's affecting you, someone kind of giving you that gentle reminder in a nice, positive way sometimes is a good, it's a good thing, and it makes you think, oh yeah, you're right. The other thing is, with obviously this time of year, you tend to drink like alcohol. I'm not really a big drinker anyway. I don't tend to like alcohol that much, so I already know that I won't be drinking a lot, if anything at all. So that's just something else to keep in mind. Obviously, I'm not saying that you shouldn't, if you are of the right age, you shouldn't drink, but I think you have to be careful, because that can have a lot of calories. It can also have a lot of sugar if you drink a lot of kind of sweet, like cocktail drinks. I will probably only have like maybe 1 or 2 on Christmas Day. I don't really feel like drinking Christmas Eve because I will be driving the next day anyway, so that's something which I think to keep in mind. And this also will roll over into New Year as well. So, luckily enough, New Year's Eve is on a Saturday. So if we do anything on Saturday, then I know that I can be a little bit more relaxed and then go back to normal on New Year's Day, because I don't really tend to do that much anyway. So that to me will be an easy thing. But to some people, it's not easy. But the important thing is it doesn't have to be, going on a diet or eating healthy doesn't have to be a really horrible thing, especially if you find something that works for you, and you do enough research into it and you really know what it's doing to your body. You're far more likely to stick to it, and you really can create some nice recipes with more healthy foods. And this is why I like doing the keto diet, because I love stuff like cheese and butter. So being able to kind of add that to my meals and have it without feeling guilty is a nice thing. Like when I have a snack, I'll have like carrots, and personally I really like carrots. I just like raw carrots, so that's not a bad thing. It's just about kind of figuring out what kind of foods you like. Then another thing that I think is important is to just be realistic. I will not be buying loads of foods for myself. I'm pretty sure that no one's gonna really buy me like sweets and chocolates, maybe like the odd little thing, but nothing huge. So obviously if you end up buying yourself a lot of things, you are probably going to end up eating a lot of them. Brooke will probably get a lot of chocolates and stuff, but they're hers. I will not be eating her stuff. She will be eating it herself. So I'm fairly confident that that's not going to be an issue. But obviously I think as long as I don't buy it, it's not going to be there. I will also still continue to weigh myself. Weighing yourself on a daily basis, I think, is a really good thing, because then if you do see a little increase from the day before, you can think, right, what did I do the day before? What did I eat the day before? And it just kind of makes you think, I need to kind of slow down a little bit. I need to calm down a little bit, and then just be good that day. And, you can kind of see what's happening to your body. You can kind of see what foods are affecting your body as well. Because sometimes even like keto, like I was eating sausages which were really low in carbs, but they still did make me gain weight. So there will be certain foods that just don't sit with you well, don't digest well. As much as I think it's easy to say, like, in the new year, I will be good, I will start dieting, I don't think there's any reason why you can't start now, but still be able to enjoy Christmas and New Year's, eating nice food. Really speaking, obviously, it's not all about the food anyway. I'm more looking forward to just spending time with family. I can't wait for Brooke to get all of her presents and things like that, and experience more of Christmas growing up. I think for her it's just going to get better and better. And obviously as well, Christmas dinner isn't necessarily the most unhealthy thing. If you're getting Christmas dinner made for you, or if you're making it yourself, then maybe, depending on what diet you're doing or what kind of food style you're following, for me, I will probably just have a couple of roast potatoes rather than, like normally I would have quite a lot. Maybe just 1 Yorkshire pudding instead of 2. Obviously I'll have a lot of veg, because as I said, I like that. I'll have some turkey, which, isn't a bad thing in what I eat anyway. I also think as well, it's important not to eat for the sake of eating. Even though on a carb night you can be a little bit more relaxed, I don't ever think, I have to eat this chocolate bar because I can only eat it now. If I'm hungry, I will eat it. If I want it, I'll eat it. But if I don't want it, I just won't eat it. And I have, bought chocolate for the carb night and not eaten it till the next week, because it's just not what I've really wanted. So I think you should be realistic in, what you can and can't eat. And then by Boxing Day, I feel like I'll just be able to get straight back into it, and that will be it until the next week. And that's why I think having some kind of cheat day, carb night, whatever it is to you, is important, because then at least you know it's not forever. Taking it week by week is a lot easier than thinking, oh, I've got to do this for 6 months. I'll never be able to have pizza again. I'll never be able to have chips again. Whereas if every once in a while you do kind of allow yourself to eat, it's going to be a lot better. If I find that Christmas week I don't lose any weight, that's fine. You know, as long as I always think, as long as I know why, or I have a rough idea why, and you know, then I think, right, okay, I'll see how I get on for the next week. And then if you find that maybe like 2 or 3 weeks pass by, maybe a bit more, and you're not really losing as much weight, then it might be a chance to just look at everything you do. That's why I've, you know, changed when I go to the gym, because I did find that my weight wasn't dropping as quickly as what it was before. And now that I am going to the gym in the evenings, I do find it makes a big difference. So until I see a kind of plateau, or, you know, it doesn't drop as much, then I can think, why? Sometimes your body just does hit a plateau and you do have to kind of rethink everything. Or obviously, the closer you get to your goal weight, the harder it can tend to be. At first, you know, your body kind of almost goes into a shock and it just eats away at the fat, but then you do have to kind of work that a little bit harder. If you're someone who's thinking, I'm going to start doing it in New Year, I would start it now, because that could be the difference between you putting on a stone in the next month or half a stone in the next month. If you try and you are, you know, careful, then come New Year, you could be in a much better place, in a much better mindset to then really start working hard. Yeah, I obviously will still be doing these videos as well over like Christmas and New Year. So I really hope you enjoyed this video. As always, if you have any questions, just leave them in the comment section and I will answer them. I will be back to replying to comments. I know that I have been a little bit slacking on that. I did upload a video yesterday about like why I haven't been uploading and things like that. So yeah. So thank you so much for watching. Make sure you give this video a thumbs up if you liked it, and subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.